I'm taking this class right now. It's called Advanced Leadership Communication. In Advanced Leadership Communication, in the first class, they said, how can you be an authentic leader? And that really baffled me, because I'm like, I struggle with this all the time. Like, can I really be the real Jalen? Can I be the real me? And so it made me really step back and reflect on why that is. I grew up with this bad notion, this thought that my proximity to whiteness equated to success. I grew up thinking that if I can just look different from any bad stereotypes that is placed on me as a black man, I thought that if I could just walk in a certain way, if I could talk in a certain way, I got to make sure, no earrings, no tattoos. Even when I go to the barber shop, don't do too much. Definitely not a part. Watch out, too high on the fade might shake them up a little bit. And it was through this that I come to this story that I'm about to tell you now. When I was in high school, I was a hustler, just like my parents. I was working all types of jobs, YMCA, I was at McDonald's, and I hated McDonald's. So then I came with the job at this grocery store called Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And the thing about Publix, they pay me $1 more, so now that's more gas in my car, a little more money I can spend when I go to prom. And I was just so excited because there at Publix, for those who don't know, it's a grocery store. It's a lot better than a Walmart. It's not a Whole Foods, but it is very a nice store. And so at Publix, right, I'm bagging groceries. And the thing about Publix is you bag the groceries and you get to take them out to the car with the cart with the customers and put the groceries inside of their car for them. So then through that, we used to have so many conversations, just talking about life and everything that goes with that. And inside those conversations, they used to always ask me, it used to happen, once an hour for all the shifts. So we usually work like 8-hour shifts. And he's like, what are you doing with life? Like, what are you doing next? Like, what's going on? And so I would just, they would like, are you about to, work here longer? Come see, you're in high school at this point. You're going to try to move up in the company and stuff. And with so excited, I would just tell them like, no, I'm going to college. I'm going to the University of Southern Mississippi. And they're like, okay. And next thing they would tell me as I'm standing here at 5'5". At that point, I was about 115 pounds. So it's a picture that 5'5", 115 pounds. And the next question they would ask me was, what position do I play? What position do I play? So again, I said I'm going to the University of Southern Mississippi, the same Division I college football team that Brett Favre played on. And they're asking me, what position do I play? Do they think I'm about to be an offensive lineman? And so through the buildup of that always happening, it actually really hurt me. Because I realized that they thought that the only way that I could go to a school like that wouldn't be for my mind. It could only be for whatever I could do in a sport. So I don't go home. I'd cry to my mom. She'd just say, well, that's why I tell you always got to be twice as better, because that's just the way the world works. And I just realized, like, no matter how I walked, no matter how I talked, no matter the things I did to keep my proximity closer to whiteness to be accepted, they would always see this. And it wasn't fair that just because I was a black man that these stereotypes were placed on me. And so if y'all give me a second, I just want to talk about like these stereotypes that do exist as well. It's like even when it comes to education and they think that, I'm uneducated, right? I even think about the undergrad that I ended up going to. The first black people weren't even able to go there until the 70s. I was having lunch and dinner with the first black people who were at my college. Not only did we even have unequal K through 12 schools all the way throughout, which also impacted my family and a lot of the reasons why, the first school my even mother went to as the first person in her family to go to college was a small HBCU and a small historically black college. If we talk about even wealth creation from that end, saying that black people are poor, or not looking for jobs and opportunities, I think about even, let's say, housing, which is a large wealth creator. And I think about both my grandparents who, on both sides of my family, who had to buy houses, only specific neighborhoods that got devalued. There's no reason why we look at Boston in itself, the net worth of a black household is $8 compared to a white household of $250,000. And so we also think on even creating businesses and finding other ways to build wealth. But you can't do that unless you get approved for a business loan, which again, because of the stereotypes that were placed on black people and all the opportunities that weren't given to them, created that inequality as well. And so then also to the aspect of mass incarceration, it's like you put people in these unfortunate circumstances, and then you target them for being in the unfortunate circumstances that you put them in. And so now I'm probably one of the only males in my family above the age of 25 that hasn't spent a night in jail. And hopefully that doesn't come about. And so through all of this, again, with the Publix and other stories, they lit this fire in me. They lit this fire in me because I just said, I can't change the way people are going to look at me. They're always going to see this. But what I can do is make sure that the next time they see somebody who looks like me, they're doing the same things that I'm doing. And they're able to have the opportunity even when opportunity isn't provided or is lower. And so through this, I've been blessed with the opportunity to work on that. I've been blessed to work at the largest poverty-fighting organization in New York City during COVID and find ways to stop learning loss and also get people back to work. I've been blessed to work at the Obama Foundation and revitalize the My Brother's Keeper program that supports boys and young men of color within communities and find community solutions to support that. I've been blessed to work for Harlem Children's Zones and their Cradle to Career initiative, to where I go into different communities and build up community systems to support holistic solutions inside and outside of schools so that all kids get the same opportunity from birth to graduation and beyond. And even though I've been able to stand here before you, because honestly, as a man of faith, I feel like God has blessed me to do all these things and have all these experiences so I could do that. I still have constant reminders that I'm still right back at Publix. I guess a reminder that I'm still back at Publix is I try to go to one of your apartment buildings and I see people who, once I go to the door, walk back in so they don't have to come out to let me in, or go around the back just so they don't have to let me in as well. Which could or could not be, but because of my experiences, that's how I feel. Still feel back at Publix when I do a successful negotiation in class. I'm excited about it. And one of my classmates comes up to me and says, "Oh, you must have did a lot of drug deals back in the day to be good at that." I still feel back at Publix when a teacher just assumes, without even knowing me, towards the beginning of the school year, that I didn't do a reading when I wrote the summary for a group of people who didn't do the reading. I still feel back in Publix when I'm just in an Uber and I get pulled over and searched because I guess they think I'm selling drugs to the Uber driver when I don't have any on me. I have this thing to where I feel that there's a 20-60-20 in the world. I feel that, I'll just put it around race, but I feel like it's in most things within bias, right? I feel like 20% of people in this world are racist. They know that they don't like another race, and they accept that, and they know that they have these strong feelings about it, and it is okay, right? I feel that you have this other 20% who understand the bias that is within them, understand how it has affected things in their mind, and pushes to try to get past that bias and support others. But then you have that 60%, right? That 60% right here, that's the most dangerous because they have this bias. That 60% were those nice people who I would walk out with that card and they would be congratulatory for thinking that the only way that I was able to stand before you today is if I was playing sports. And so all I just ask is that you all just challenge your thoughts. Open your mind, reflect on any bias that you have, and always love and uplift others. Thank you.